All right. If you get the reference, extra nerd points for you. My name is Raquel Velez. I work at NPM. Zeke over back there and I are on the web team. Well, we are the web team. So anytime you go to npmjs.org, you're touching our stuff. Awesome. My goal, I know that lunch is right after me, so I want to feed you with words so that you're not too hungry. So anyway, I used to be a roboticist. Once upon a time, before I got into this whole Node thing, I built robots as my actual job. I left for reasons that I'll go into later, after this presentation. But for now, I just want to kind of preface that so that we can have this wonderful conversation over the next literally 20 minutes, because I'm not going over time. Okay. So, how many of you have heard of node bots? Okay, excellent. On a scale of no chance, no way to duh, how prepared do you feel to actually build your own robot? I'm trying to do a moving average here. Oh, we've got some middling. Okay, excellent. Cool. Hopefully you all come to the workshop later today and learn a little bit. But yeah, let's get started. This is a node bot. This is a node bot right here. You've probably heard of them. It sounds like you have. The basic essence of them is that they're robots, but we program them with Node. That's it. That's all. It's pretty awesome. And folks have been making some really, really amazing node bots over the last couple of years. Ever since Rick Waldron came on the NodeConf stage in NodeConf US a couple of years ago, this thing has completely taken off. It's incredible. My goal within the whole NodeBots ecosystem, I'm not actually much of a hardware person despite having a degree in mechanical engineering. I don't like electrons because I can't see them and I can't touch them. So my whole purpose in this Node ecosystem, or NodeBots ecosystem, is to push the boundaries of what NodeBots even means and what they can do. So today, I'm going to try to push those boundaries, and I want you to go with me. Ready? Okay. So let's talk about art. Art. What is art? You see this, and it's what is art? I don't know. I'm not an artist. I'm not a classically trained artist. I drew once, stick figures. Those are great. But let's ask some actual professionals. This guy, Edgar Degas, I think he drew some stuff sometimes. But he says, art is not what you see, but what you make others see. So there's this notion of purposefulness, and there's this notion of creation. And that's pretty cool. Okay, so you have to create stuff in order, art is created. Okay, so let's push it a little further. What is an artist? What does that mean? Tolstoy says, art is not a handicraft. It is the transmission of feeling the artist has experienced. So what does that mean? It kind of implies that there needs to be some sort of feeling, some experiences. You need to pull off of some existential past, maybe, or present, or future, and put that into your art, right? So there's this kind of soul thing going on. You following me? Yeah? All right. Cool. So I think we can all say that we have those feelings, we have those experiences, we have that creativity of sorts. But here's my question. Can we create an artist? This is ArtBot. You may be wondering, that bot has bat wings. And it's true. Once upon a time, this was BatBot. But you see, BatBot went to Paris, found himself at a lovely little cafe, and realized that he was experiencing an existential crisis and decided to go into art. So he traded in his sonar for a marker, and he said, I want to be an artist. You're not buying it. Okay. Let's see if we can even make this happen. Let's try it. Okay. So step one, let's draw. This is NodeConf, so of course I made a Node app. And I'm using Express, some Canvas, HTML5 type things, some client-side JavaScript, some Vector. So Vector is a module I wrote that does math for you. And my goal was to create an application that would allow you to draw on a canvas with, some keys on your keyboard. Awesome. All right. So let's do this, right? Like, simple demo. You're going to be like, oh, wow, that's exciting, because we saw, game development. Yeah, OK, fine, whatever. So I'm going to need some, changeover music, because this is going to take a... Thank you. All right. So this is our little bot, right? And so we can, just using WASD, I can turn them around, and I can draw, and that's kind of exciting. I can, law, and I can clear it. Yay! Okay. You're like, oh, that's really cute, Raquel. That's really boring. Whatever. I know. All right. So we gotta add some more to this, right? Okay. So let's add a robot into the mix. We've got ArtBot here, not BatBot. Changed his name legally. Come on. Okay. So to do this, I add a couple more things to it. I've got some socket.io, so I can have some client and server-side interaction going on. And I'm using Johnny 5. If you've never heard of Johnny 5, think of it as jQuery for hardware. It's like you can basically have an LED, which is a light-emitting diode, and you can say LED.on, and it'll turn on. You can say LED.off, and it'll turn off. Cool, right? OK, excellent. So my goal now is to have the robot kind of following along with my cursor movements, right? Cool. Demo time again. All right, cue music, please. Alrighty. So. All right. So I'm just gonna be good. All right, so see, I can kind of move around. I don't know if you can see this at all. Can anybody see any of this? Yeah? You can? OK. And I can even turn it on, make it draw. Oh, no. No. Welcome to hardware. You still gonna work though? That's OK, because I can fix things. Excellent. All right, cool. So we've got a little bit of thing going on. Apologize for the cables. Hardware troubles. But anyway, so there's stuff going on that's pretty exciting. Cool. That's fun. Yay! Hi. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's ask ourselves a couple of deep philosophical questions, because that's the next big piece. You're so hungry, you're like, I don't want to think anymore, oh my God. But let's just ask a couple questions. All right, so if we draw on a canvas, like this HTML5 canvas, whatever, does that make us artists? And I want you to give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, like yes or no. OK, we've got some philosophical disagreement here. That's cool. I like to think that, OK, so if I draw on a board or something, am I an artist? If I code, am I a coder? If I write, am I a writer? If I draw, am I a drawer? Fine. If we make ArtBot draw, who's the artist? Give me an open hand if you think it's the human. Give me a fist if you think it's the robot. OK.
Is this a Boolean?
This is a Boolean for now, just for now. OK. I think, and you can feel free to disagree with me later, because I'm on stage. I think ArtBot is just a tool, right? It's just an extension of ourselves, right? There's nothing different. Like if we were to actually physically touch, like hold Artbot and then use the marker attached to him to like draw something, we would just say that Artbot is a tool. And that's fine. We're just commanding him very explicitly. Cool. So then when does Artbot become the artist? At what point can we say Artbot is the artist? I think based on what we saw before in our like kind of wonderful quotes from artists of days past, Artbot needs to have some sort of like feeling, some sort of desire, some sort of emotion or experience, right? Artbot needs some sort of sentience. So let's do some reverse engineering. If we start from the painting or the drawing, the art thing, because I'm gonna argue that drawing is art. If we start from the drawing itself and we work our way backwards, what do we actually need to achieve in order to kind of create that drawing, right? So this is the reverse engineering part. I think based on some basic drawing principles, there are two major decisions that Artbot will need to make in order to actually draw by itself. The first one is to draw or not to draw, right? So at what point do we put the pen down or pick it up, right? So if the pen's on the page, you're drawing. If you take it off, you're not drawing anymore, right? The second one is moving or turning or not moving at all. That's another decision, right? So you could argue that putting the pen down and movement, that's drawing a line. And then picking up the pen and moving, it means like you're deciding where to start a different line, right? Are we following along here? Okay, you're gonna buy into this so we can continue on. All right, excellent. So this is our canvas. In this case, I've got this canvas over here. Are we ready? Okay, so if this is true, and if Artbot has some sort of sentience, then I think we could argue that whatever he draws now will be Artbot telling us something interesting. So let's see what Artbot wants to show us now. Ready? Okay. I have to make one tiny disclaimer. I have no idea what Artbot's about to do. Like legit, no clue. Why does it keep stopping? It doesn't matter, whatever. Okay, so there may be times when it tries to like go off the canvas. This is not going to match this, so let's just kind of focus on the robot itself. If it tries to get off, I'm just going to put it back in, okay? Because I honestly have no idea what it's going to do. Excellent. Don't let me down. Let's go. Yay. So what's happening here is Artbot is literally, it has a little Boolean that says to draw or not to draw. Ah! No! Fortunately, I have backups. All right. So, Okay. And the good news is you'll all get to actually see it. This is Artbot doing its thing. It's got a Boolean that's kind of saying, you know, on, like draw on or do not draw on. And then it's got another random Boolean, or a randomizer that basically says which way to go. And so Artbot's just kind of going along, drawing some stuff, very exciting, really cool. I'm so upset that BatBot's not working. But then I think we'll kind of, you know, fun stuff is happening. Gosh, demo gods, terrible. It's okay. All right. So from here, Artbot's gonna kind of stop, and cool. We had a fun time yesterday. me and Artbot. Okay. Are you done yet? He's like, no, I have to get this out. I need you to know. Okay. Excellent. So this is the ending result. I don't think it would be proper art without a proper critique. So it seems to me that Artbot's trying to tell us about uncertainty and not knowing where to go, but though feeling trepidatious, ultimately decides to adventure outward. Because that's obviously what you do if you're a robot. Excellent. Okay. By extending outside of the canvas, he moves outside the box. Wonderful, Michael. Thank you. Okay. So the question is now, who's the artist? I had nothing to do with it. Except, program it. But all the decisions were the robots. So think about it, and then let's talk about it again later. Okay? All right. So some of you are thinking, so what? So there was a robot that crashed off the table, which, by the way, this is exactly why robots are not taking over the world anytime soon. I'd like to point out that there's way more to the whole world of robotics than what we experienced here today. There's so much more. So very, very much more. And my goal is to try to push that boundary, continuing to push that boundary for as long as I possibly can. But there's one takeaway I want you to go home with. One thing. It's this. All of this is Node. All of it. All of y'all do Node. All of y'all can totally do this. There is nothing in here, except maybe my vector library, that you couldn't totally program by yourself. But guess what? Vector's a module, so you can just include it, whatever. You have an opportunity to be part of this. It's just JavaScript. Okay, some of you are like, whatever, still, okay. I mean, what is Artbot, really? It's just this machine that we send it, we create these instructions, we send it off to some remote vehicle, we tell it to do something, and then it sends us some information back, right? That's all it's really doing. You know what else does that? Mars rovers do that. So if you think that this is just fun in games, there's actual science happening on Mars. And it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, okay, the algorithms are a little bit more interesting, but we all have to start somewhere. So we can start here. And I'd also like to point out that that is probably about, 100,000 times more expensive than this guy. So keep that in mind, too. The point is, Artbot is just the beginning. Now, it is your turn. Thank you very much.